Satyabhama cut started in the 1450s and 1500 period, when there was already a presence of Sufis. We had already tested each other's metal and found that we have a lot of commonalities. Now the Bhamakat promotes the view that there is only one Purush who is worthy of our love and affection, and that is Lord Krishna. Everyone else is a Gopika. The thought, if you look closely at Sufi teachings and Sufi practices, you will find the same thought, where the Almighty is the only male. The whole terminology and the language used, Masho, the person worthy of being called the beloved. Same thought. And what happens is, over time, that cult develops the dance form which is now called Kuchipudi. Then because of the fall of Vijayanagar, there is a downfall. And then our own Abul Hasan Panasha, the last Sultan, lands up in that village and by chance happens to see a performance. He is so impressed that he grants that village in perpetuity to the Brahmins who were practicing this art form. Mind you, in those days there was no ladies performing in this art form, it was all male. Some say it is because of the difficulty, because these were traveling troops and they had to perform all night. It was not possible for the ladies. Others say it was because of the amorous content in any story connected to Lord Krishna that was instrumental in keeping the ladies out, who could not convincingly portray the romantic sequences, whatever that might be. Now it has changed. There are more ladies performing Kuchipudi than men. But in those days, the pivotal roles were all done by men. You had men who dressed up as all the three main characters in the main Kuchipudi original basis. Now, that is when the Kuchipudi art form came to Golconda and thrived here. What I wish to say is that there are numerous examples of syncretic developments. From the earliest period, pre-Qutub Shahi, the Sultanate period, the Brahmani period, in the Deccan, you have numerous, hundreds of instances of syncretic cultural development, including syncretic worship, which is the most touching point these days. And that culminated in what was Hyderabad. And so strong was the identity of this culture that even the Mughals who had come in, Aurangzeb had defeated Bijapur and Golconda within a year of each other, 1687. Even the presence of the Mughals could not make any dent into this, very strong cultural tradition that had developed. And you see that the Kuchipudi grant is again renewed without any hindrance, and again endorsed, and a fight between the family. The Nizam sent his special ambassadors to settle the dispute among 5 branches of the original family of Brahmins, and those people still have the documents of that settlement, and that is what has preserved the right to that property in the village till now. So even the turmoil and disturbance and the changed perspectives of post-Mughal for that brief period of 50-60 years that there was turmoil in the Deccan could not make a dent into this established syncretic practice and synthesis that had been achieved in culture in the Deccan. Of course, there are numerous examples. I would give some examples of language, dress, Sherwani, as you told. I have a different view, sir. It originated much before that. I saw signs of the Sherwani in a very rudimentary form as something between a Sherwani and a frock coat in the tunic of the Qutub Shahis. Even the first Qutub Shahi king, Bade Malik, his dress, you find 6 buttons. button with a collar, which is something very close to a sherwani. And it is remarkable that even today, 600 years, almost 500 years, more than 500 years down the line, 500 to 600 years down the line, we still have 6 buttons in Hyderabadi sherwanis, which makes it distinct from North Indian and other sherwanis who have 7. And those 6 buttons have survived from Qutub Shahi times to these times. And the sherwani incidentally became so popular that everyone in the south was wearing it, later on the north. We were wearing it long before. Till Sri Lanka, it was the national dress of Sri Lanka. All over Bengal, Burma, everywhere you find the sherwani present. And the most, I think, they were made, the sherwani was made more popular by our Iyengar of Tamil Nadu. They exported it to Sri Lanka, and they wore it till recently. If some of you might remember, about 25-30 years back, there was this tobacconist on Tilak Road, Mudaliar and Company. And I don't remember the name of the gentleman. He was a Tamilian, who used to sit there. Yeah, Hindustani also, but that might have been an influence of being in the state and bearing the state. But this Mudaliar, which I saw, he was not a Mudaliar. He was not Mudaliar. He was a friend of the owner, a gentleman from Tamil Nadu, who used to sit there in a dhoti and on top of an impeccably white sherwani. I remember him. I used to go there to, with my uncle who was he was a smoker of some thing, and he had the supplies taken from there. So I remember that person there. So all these things happened. Unfortunately, stereotyping has taken place over the past 25 years, where we have differentiated in what is your dress, what is my dress, and forgotten what is our culture and our heritage, which is why others are now coming and forcing us, telling us that they know better than us what our culture is and how we should go about living. So, but I think that's a temporary phase. We have passed through many tests and come out with flying colours, and will continue to do so. उर्दू में शेर बोलने की फरमाइश हुई थी साहब की। आनंद वर्मा साहब बोलने के बाद मैं मुश्किल है, but I will conclude with 2 things. I don't want to go on too long. There are other speakers who will follow. The syncretism in Hyderabad, there are numerous hundreds of examples I can give you. I will give you only 2. One is a couplet of the most beloved personality of Hyderabad, one of the most beloved personalities, I should say, because my Vani Bhasha was also beloved. महाराज कृष्ण प्रसाद बाबू, ना मैं हिंदू ना मैं मुसलमान, हर मजहब है मेरा ईमान, शाद का मजहब शाद ही जाने, आज़ादी आज़ाद ही जाने. So this is what Hyderabad was all about. He said he is least bothered about what is madhab. I am above all that. I know my religion, that is enough. And he also said, मैं खुदा तू खुदा पर शाद है तो मैं किशन पर शाद. We are happy. You be happy in your God. I am happy with my God. So why are you fighting? So these were the great people we had. One another thing I would recommend to you is everyone who claims to be from the Deccan and claims to be from Hyderabad should read 2 letters written by the late Sarojini Naidu. Sarojini Naidu, the Nightingale of India. I think those 2 letters are enough to put a stop to any debate that syncretism or synthesis in culture was not achieved in Hyderabad. On the death of my Vani Bhasha, she has written 2 letters, one after the other in a short period of time. I don't remember the entire text, but I will tell you what it conveys, and you can always look it up. The whole collection of letters was published a few years back by a professor from Hyderabad University, Markand Branch by. Yes, Markand Branch by. he has edited and produced those letters. Now I found these two letters. One writes writing to the publisher in England. Mrs. Naidu says, justifying her delay in not being able to. She says, I've been upset all these years because my monarch has passed away. And I'm not in the right frame of mind. I cannot send you for some other time, one time. She must have got a letter, chiding us, if your monarch has died, how are you buried? Please finish the manuscript and send it over. To which she reacts very strongly, saying, you in Europe, what do you know about reverence of a monarch as we Easterners do? For us, the late Nizam was everything. There are millions who turn up at his grave each day and garland his tomb. And she says, there is not one amongst us who will not willingly exchange himself, his beloved ones, including children, mother and father, if God were to take them in exchange for the life of Mahbub Ali Pasha. That was the limit of emotions that were present concerning he's called the beloved, his name was also Mahbub. This is Mahbub Ali Pasha. I think these two incidences are enough for you to give more thought to it and go back and look up, because all you need to do is look in history and you'll find hundreds and hundreds of instances of syncretism in this region. Of course, under attack for the past few decades due to polarization, increasing polarization in society. But time and again, when we are on the verge of giving up, something comes abroad which brings us together once again.